All right, guys. It's time for episode 1, huh?
Yeah!
All right, guys, welcome. Episode 1 of the ODSII Podcast. Campaign in space, Dumpspace, as we all know.
Dumpspace.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Justin Rankin. I'm going to be the DM of this little number here, joined by mostly some of the greatest players of D&D I've ever known and a couple other guys to fill some roles.
Just kidding. Who we are.
Just kidding. Yeah, so, I mean, obviously, what is more fun in session 1 of D&D campaign than hearing me go on a tangent about a lot of exposition. So here's kind of the intro to the world. Welcome to Dumpspace. Obviously, 5th edition, Dungeons & Dragons, based loosely off of the Spelljammer setting. Ages ago, the known universe was rescued and then subsequently purchased by a company known as Wonder Incorporated. They're led by a pantheon of gods known as the Board, that is capital G gods, which comes into play a little bit later. And basically, they wiped out the universe, clean slate, and then new planets came to be in like a Shark Tank-esque pitching process. Founders would come, pitch their idea for a planet that would be financially viable, would bring some sort of wealth or worth to the company. If you got on the god's good side, the board would give you the stamp of approval and give this founder divinity. You would become a god, and you would go lead this planet. This planet would end up in Wonderspace. Wonderspace being kind of the Garden of Eden of sorts. This is, the good side of the universe. These things are financially viable. We see a business need for these planets. Planets that did not make the cut, ideas that maybe did not sell the board very well, those were relegated to a part of space called Dumpspace. In a very violent, disgusting process, they would be moved to this kind of shoved off corner of the universe. Another thing about the planets in Wonderspace, it is not a given that you always remain financially viable. So as decisions are made, climate changes, things like that, in another very kind of violent process. Wormholes absorbing this planet, not many people surviving. Those planets can also be relegated to Dumpspace. And basically, Dumpspace itself is a desolate spatial wasteland, scavengers, pirates, scary creatures, just the classics you'd find in deep, dark space. And that's where the majority of this campaign is going to take place, and that's where we are. So, welcome aboard, guys. Woo! Look at that, session 1.
Relegated. Who's gonna die?
Kind of first time most of us are podcasting. TN, other having a Big Brother podcast that he's doing
flourishing.
Flourishing. Which
really
is excellent.
Shouldn't try to mooch onto my success.
Hitch me onto your star, man. We're just we're all trying to make it. But yeah, so basically, as long as there's no housekeeping things here, we can get started.
I'm ready.
The first rule of Dumpspace is there is always a bigger fish. A bigger planet, a bigger creature, a bigger god, a bigger promotion. We cut to an office within the Wonder Incorporated offices. Sleek white walls, gold trim on the doors, and a young buck sits across from a large, avian-looking soldier. This guy's basically a foghorn leghorn style, big spacer rooster. He's got, bright red, where the fucking rooster mohawks are called. I don't know what it is.
Plume.
Yeah, plume. Nah, that's not it. That can't be it.
That's a way worse word.
That guy's
terrible.
sitting in a plate of golden armor, that big, thick red cape adorned with just dozens of medals and little pins and awards of varying shapes and sizes. You see the office itself has a bunch of photos of this guy, just like he's got all sorts of heaps of high technology in tow with him, or he's shaking hands with people that look very important. A lot of them have a caption that's handwritten that say "Thank you, Commander." Most of them look like they're written in the same handwriting, so who knows where they're coming from. And sitting across from him in this office, as he's kind of sitting at his desk in front of a computer with small spectacles, Matt, why don't you give us an introduction of your character?
So, sitting across from the commander, you guys see, but Brin Tally. Brin Tally is a middle-aged human male, and he is a dork, recently promoted field supervisor. He's worked at Wonder Inc. in the dork subsection his whole life. His entire dream was to become a verified and approved field supervisor to go in and usher adventurers to become adventurers and get their licenses. So You see him. He's got not as shiny gold, but just a little bit less gold and one pin. And then he's got the dork uniform and everything. A little cape that's not as flowy as the commander's. Bright-eyed, bushy tail, has not seen in a millisecond of in-the-field experience. Only office, desk space.
So this kind of smaller, meek man is sitting across from this large. The guy's got a name tag that says Commander Capon, and he's sitting here and he goes, "Brin, I mean, it's a pleasure to have you sitting here. If you look around this office and just see the duo galactic obsolescence retrieval knights, the dorks, so to speak, of Wonder Incorporated, we play an integral role in the company's financial feasibility. You can see," and he kind of gestures to one of the paintings or one of the photos here. He says, "Look, this is when I brought back the glowing floors from the dumped planet of Disco 5 that you may see in the break room today. Crucial to the company's success."
You have him here.
I have them here, and you've seen them, and that was that was me bringing them back. You can kind of see here, and then you see he gestures kind of towards another photo here. He says, "You see the planet Derby? They're the shells of these dwarven war machines. They didn't think those were going to be salvageable, but I brought them back and proved them correct. They absolutely were not salvageable. But let me tell you, I brought them back for sure. You can see me there." And then sometimes, Brin, now that you're going to be getting out in the field, you get to, and kind of looks around. "You don't need to tell the boss this." And you see he flashes this like fucked up mechanical keyboard he has with like a bunch of flashing lights all over it. He goes, "Sometimes you can bring back a little treat for yourself."
You've definitely...
This guy rocks. This guy sounds like coworker of the year.
Commander, you sure have set the bar so high. I hope I can even get to a fraction of your achievements.
Oh, I hope so too. Let me tell you, I'm not confident, but you know, it's not me setting the bar high. And
just you giving me the opportunity to finally get out there and show my stripes. I'm so excited.
I'm excited for you as well, my son. And then he stands up and he goes up to another photo. He says, "Brin, please come stand here with me."
I eagerly approach.
And you see he's so much bigger than you, and he's got these like big ass feathered arms. He puts his arm around you while he's like standing here, and he's pointing at this giant photo, it looks like it was maybe recreated of sorts, and you notice that the Duo Galactic Obsolescence Retrieval Knights, or the Dorks, have this logo on their jacket. It's a big whale. And you see it's this depiction of like a giant whale, a space whale, blubberflies in this universe that you know as, basically with a bunch of just scrap and machinery and ships in tow coming out of a wormhole. One that you notice is kind of the mode of transportation for the company when they're leaving Dumpspace to come back to Wonderspace. And he's got his arm around you. He goes, "Look at this. His name was Willie. This is back when I was a pledgeling, much like you." He just kind of looks. He goes, "Man, one of our finest dorks. You should have seen the package this man was towing." And he kind of gestures. He goes, "The package, this dork, it was massive. I'm telling you,
it's a mighty package. Commander.
Mighty package, and it was gargantuan, the thing he brought back. And you know, I didn't think he was going to be able to do it, but look, this is the standard that has been set for knights such as ourselves."
I hope I could get a bigger package.
Brin, I do too. Maybe one day.
Thank you, Commander.
And you see, he goes, "Brin, let me tell you, I know recently the promotion from pledgeling to field supervisor has been, it may have come as a surprise. We've discussed this before."
Yes, but I must be honest, I've kind of been looking forward to it my whole life.
And it's well deserved. And you see he actually pulls a folder up that says Tally on it, you know, and he says, "I mean, just going through your file, repairing the printer, painting fences on the outside of the plant,
immaculate,
taking down fences on the outside of the plant,
indestructible,
re-putting up fences on the outside of the plant,
very secure,
screwing in light bulbs,
very well lit.
These functions are critical to company success, and let me tell you, it did not surprise me that you got chosen for a field supervisor promotion." And you see he gets quiet. And he goes, "But when I printed the latest promotion report, the algorithm that ran, let me tell you something that did surprise me." And you see he takes the folder and he sets it down in front of you. And you see this folder does not say Field Supervisor Tally. It says Captain Tally, which is a step above Field Supervisor.
My lip quivers.
You see he looks at this, he says, "Being recommended to be promoted to a skip level, it's been, I mean, years since we've seen performance of this caliber."
Oh boy.
And he goes, "Let me tell you, I did not think you were going to be able to be leading one of these adventuring licensing exams immediately. I thought we were going to run you through more of the simulations. You've seen some of the adventuring sims.
Yes, of course.
But I'll tell you, son, this is quite the motley crew you've been handed, and it is my pleasure, and he kind of sticks out a hand. Big feathered hand, shakes it, just basically grabs your whole arm. Says, it is my pleasure to tell you will be leading the next adventuring licensing exam on Bovinia.
No.
And you may know something about Bovinia, and you see he kind of opens up kind of like an almanac almost, and he kind of sets it down. He goes, Bovinia has been one of our designated planets for the adventuring licensing exams for years.
Yes,
well within Wonderspace, no chance of dumping whatsoever.
Of course not.
Highest amount of dairy production in the planet, all right,
Right,
in the known
crucial to the
universe.
universe.
Yes, those the anthropomorphic cows have proven to be characters sometimes, but they play nice with us, and they have been very good to Wonder Incorporated. They pay their taxes, and let me tell you, son, that's the most important when we're thinking of people here.
Of course.
Paying their dues to Wonder Incorporated.
How else would we be able to help people throughout the world and the rest of the universe?
And he nods. And he says, and you see he kind of like turns and he goes, that's right, boy. And he turns towards the whale. And you see he just salutes.
I follow the salute.
And he's there for like 45 seconds. And then he just starts crying. It's like a little tear.
I'm forcing a tear.
Make a deception check for me.
Woo! First roll.
Yeah.
Wait, so is the
Deception.
taxes that the cows pay their milk? Or is it just actual taxes?
Quiet you. You're not in the scene.
I just want to know. That's why I was doing it at the roll. I held my
So
question.
many
Deception, please.
That is a 6.
You kind of burp. And he goes, don't worry, son. One day you'll be touched as I am. And he kind of... He puts his hand down. He goes, Brin, if you're going to be handed this responsibility, you need to understand. Your job as a dual galactic obsolescence retrieval knight is to make sure you recover company assets from dumped planets. Because if not, they could be used for evil, or worse, competitors.
I will never allow such a thing.
Never. And you see he kind of opens the door, kind of gestures you out. He goes, Captain Brin Tally, it is my pleasure to ask you to take a trip to Bovinia.
Commander, I will not let you down.
And you see he hands you another kind of report.
I thought you were going to shake my hand, sir.
No, sorry, yeah. You see he's like, you meet him for a while, like kind of when you're going for like fist bump and handshake, and he doesn't just hand you the paper.
I
He
grabbed
goes,
my
son,
hand.
too much physical contact in this office for my taste. So we've already enough handshaking.
Okay.
That's going to detail off the personnel in your file that you'll be seeing in a week's time. I would brush up on it just so you know who you're dealing with.
Wonderful.
Known
I will
variables.
study every inch of this report. Even
Right,
blank
yes.
spaces.
You were good at studying inches. I know that you would be very good at it, so please, yes, continue.
Wonderful.
Nice.
Look at that. One character and it's already been 2 penis jokes.
One was a whale penis, so at least it's like human penis, animal penis.
We're getting paid per penis joke. You know, right?
This podcast
being
brought to
funded
you.
That wasn't in my contract.
This podcast brought to you by Big Wiener. You enter back into the hustle and bustle of the space station here as you prepare for your next trip, and you open to your first page of your personnel file. We cut to a new planet, pretty far from Bovinia and the location of Wonder Incorporated's current state. This is the planet known as Predex, and you see it kind of cuts to what is the border of Wonderspace, bright stars, deep blues and purples, before you get down to those more rust-colored and black and brown hues of Dumpspace. And we zoom in a little closer onto Predex before getting into what is called their Planetary Termination Readiness Department. You see, this is a dreary office. Gray walls, grayer floors, no windows and no clocks. Several desks and cubicles, kind of open forum, so everybody is sharing desks and computers and moving around. And we cut to a small corner of this department. You see it's late. Most folks have gone home, but there are some people still here. One of which, sitting at his desk. Tim, why don't you give us an introduction?
I introduce you to Spindly Cathcart. So Spindly is a humanoid, tall and narrow, built like someone who grew faster than he learned how to stand straight. His shoulders slope forward from years spent leaning towards desks and over documents, and he moves with this careful economical precision. His skin is pale from artificial light. His eyes are permanently tired, but still very alert, looking for consistencies rather than danger. He dresses neatly and without flair. He's got this pressed shirt, like kind of a neutral tie, and a fitted vest that's tailored to accommodate all of the different things, the different dimensions of his anatomy. He's got these long fingers that are restless and always kind of straightening things that are already aligned. When he speaks, his voice is calm and measured, and he is practiced in delivering bad news gently. He does not look threatening, but that's usually when people make mistakes.
And you're hunched over a document that you've had for some time now, probably close to a week, maybe two. And it's interesting, kind of the juxtaposition here. You are next to what is a similar looking document, a statue of this that you see is titled The First Predex Charter. And a Predex Charter is basically a document prepared anytime a planet is dumped. This is how Wonder Incorporated keeps themselves legally safe. It is a document with numerous reports ran, numbers, financials on why the decision for a planet to be dumped is made. They are found on any dumped planet, should you go to Dumpspace, magically preserved in whatever is remaining of that planet. The Predex Charter details quite finely why Wonder Incorporated made the decision they did. Your job, as you've alluded to, is running the reports for these documents. You are never the one making the final decision, but you go through and you run the numbers, the charts, the models that maybe inform your less than fortunate brothers on this planet to have to make the decision themselves. Predex is interesting in that you are on the side of the planet that is within Wonderspace. It is a planet that is half dumped. It is the Predex Charter that is actually modeled here in your office. And that twinge of gold is really the only color you can see, other than kind of, every once in a while on Fridays, they have those like little plastic water cups with like the radical, like blue and purple little zigzag on them. And it's late. And you've been hunched over this document for a while because it is a planet near and dear to your heart. You are running reports on Bovinia, a planet that, for all intents and purposes, has been very well loved in Wonderspace. One that everyone said, this is never falling. Dairy production, of course the planet, the universe is going to have need for this. And you're running a lot of these reports and you're starting to realize how the numbers are lining up. And you're very concerned. And you've been sitting here, and as this is happening, it's late in the evening, you kind of hear a rapping at your desk.
No.
And you see about probably 2.5 feet tall, maybe 3 feet tall, 3 foot tall, alien humanoid, no body hair. His head is about 3 times the size of his entire body. His hands and feet are of equal scale. He walks over in a pressed white short sleeve button down because it is Space Friday. That's Friday in space. He has about 3 different pocket protectors in varying pockets. And you see he's holding a cup of coffee, one that you ordered. This is your intern, Lou. And he kind of sets the coffee up, and he looks at you and he goes, "Oh, hey, Spindly, I got that coffee order of yours that you wanted. Double cream, but light on the cream. Extra sugar, as long as it's not the sweet kind. A little bit of cinnamon. Tell me if that's... I know I've screwed this one up pretty much every day this week, but I think I've really, really dialed it in."
Needs a little bit more milk, but
You haven't even...
it'll be okay.
You didn't even taste it.
I can see from the color of it.
You see it's just fully milk almost.
It's not white enough.
He goes, "Do you want maybe no coffee?"
It
Or
isn't a big cream.
Look, first of all, great tweed. I really like the material on that.
Thank you so much. You actually, it was passed down by my father.
Really?
Yeah. Did you know I had one of those?
You had a father?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't talk about myself enough. I just thought maybe all the leadership books I'm reading really emphasize having a good relationship with your superior. So I'm sorry. I spoke out of turn.
Yeah.
I didn't mean...
Yeah. I like you, Aubrey. What's your name again?
Lou. I've been your intern for 4 years.
Lou. Okay, Skippy, look, I'm looking at this file, and there's something that just doesn't look right to me. What's your take on it?
You see your desk is like about 3 inches higher than his head. And he goes, could you...
Go get the stool.
Yeah, no, that's okay, right, the stool. And you go and you see... falls over a little bit. He goes, "Oh, fuck. Frick. Oh, man, don't cuss in front of your superior." Takes about a minute and a half, but he finally gets a metal stool.
I'm talking with him this whole time. So these numbers are like just not looking right. If you look at the top of the screen,
And it goes up.
yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, geez." He goes, "Yeah, no, that's not. I mean, not that I'm saying I have any judgment or
You don't.
right. No, okay, but on the same page." And he looks and he goes, "Yeah, this doesn't look like any of the models we've ran before. It's not really checking out. I mean, especially, like, people love milk. Like, what?"
I wanted my coffee.
Amen.
And then you hear the door in the office kind of close. And then you see Lou turns around and he sees another individual walk in. He goes, "Oh, I'll go make you that." And he grabs a cup of coffee and he kind of scrambles away. Another person walks in. This time it's a gnome, and it's a gnome that you've run into several times. He's got very thin gray hair, a super thick kind of salt and pepper mustache. You see he's wearing like a blazer on top of kind of normal office affair, and he's holding a big stack of documents. And basically he goes up and you see he has a name tag that is almost half the length of his shirt that says, "Dr. Professor Master Sire Sir Havex the Fifth."
I sit up and I turn to him and I just read off his name tag because I forget the order of everything. Anything I can help you with today?
This is your boss, and you see he says, "Sit down, you're fine."
Yes, well, what is it?
And
Can I
he
help?
kind of goes and he pulls up that same stool and he sits kind of like across from you at the table now.
They really got to make these a little bit better.
I don't
yeah.
know why. We can put wheels on them. It's so easy.
Yeah, everything's automated these
They
days.
actually have the wheels on that one, and you just always make Lou grab the one without wheels. Let me tell you, that's excellent.
Who's Lou?
Right. And he goes, and he sits down. He goes, "Steve Lee, let me," right?
Mm-hmm.
Steve Lee, yeah, okay. I knew that was your name. Sorry, when did we have a 1-to-1 last few years?
A few years back.
A few years back, right. Yeah, bad review is what I remember.
Yeah. Could be better. Room for improvement.
Could be better, that's what it was.
But not
okay.
terminal.
Not terminal.
That's important.
That's good, yeah. Well.
And I dry heave a little bit.
He goes, "Steve Lee, you kind of sent me an email earlier this week and you put in a request to go investigate Bovinia personally. Am I understanding that correctly?
That's right.
Show me these numbers."
Yeah. Okay. So I pull up the screen and I basically have all these like bar charts, animations that show kind of inconclusive like data regarding whether we should actually be dumping Bovinia or not. And I say, yeah, if you look at this Gantt chart, it really looks like there's a little bit more something to get out of this.
Geez, yeah, no, that's a lot of... I thought this would be a slam dunk, no dump, but this is... Steve Lee, I'm approving your request. I know you haven't left the office very much or kind of been out in the field, but I think this would be a good opportunity. I do see... The numbers could use some work. I do think you probably need to put in a few more hours tonight just to make sure that the report is... And I'm going to be here with you. And as that happens, the door opens up and you see like the secretary, who is this young plasmoid woman, and is like, "Dr. Master, Professor Sire, I was going to go get margaritas down the road with a few of the team in finance. You want to?" He goes, yeah, I'll be there. No worries. Yeah, I'll be there. Door closes. He goes, "I'm going to be in my office for the next 4 hours and you can't contact me because I will also be thinking really hard about these numbers."
It's important.
Important. So why don't you kind of clean up this report, maybe gather your things. They go, "You have family here at all?" Or
I don't say anything. I just keep nodding because I think he's still talking. Like it doesn't. I'm happy to work on this.
excellent. Okay, yeah. So no one really to say goodbye to or anything. You don't need to. I'm cool. Like we're straight. You don't need to check me off the goodbye list. We're good. I understand what's going on.
Just like so trying. Yeah.
He like kicks a tin bucket that's next to your desk a little closer to you. So you can. Just be mindful that the janitor's gone home for the day, so there's no...
I guess I'm gonna have to do that too, huh?
Anyway, John Lee, I am gonna go head to my office, like I said.
Please, it's John. Next time.
Yes,
If
John.
you want.
Of course, yes. And he goes, I do expect you to be in Bovinia by... Take your time, but by tonight would be awesome. Maybe if you kind of drum up the reports and things, and then you can get back to me and we can kind of chat.
Sounds good to me.
And he goes, and listen. And he looks you in the eyes. And he goes, can you imagine how fucked up of a life our Dumpspace brothers are living on the other side of this planet?
That's what keeps me in this job. That's what keeps me moving forward.
And we're thankful for these opportunities.
Yes, indeed.
Got it. Hey, do you have any limes on you?
Limes. Can you get college out there and have him come in? He can help you out.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Oh, the intern?
Tyrone?
Something like that.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll do that. So he kind of heads out. He goes, I'll ask for some limes. Thank you, Spindly. He leaves. Your heart is racing. Not only is this the first time he has said your name correctly, you're given the opportunity to leave planet, which has never happened, never has been. In every review you receive from every 5-10 years or so, they say it's not going to happen, maybe next review, and this time just came out of nowhere. And it is a wonderful opportunity, one that you pretty much immediately need to prepare for.
I typically have a nervous tick where I'm like kind of rubbing my abdomen and I start like rubbing it like just.
It's good that you rub your abdomen.
Yeah. My abdomen.
It's lucky. That's a lucky tick.
And I just continue to do that furiously as I use my other hand to make my travel plans. I get everything in order and I get excited. I pretty much only have one of those what are they called? The Waltzing Matildas, like just like the stick with the
like a little like bag on the back.
That is Spindly's go bag. And he just gets it together with everything he needs.
And you do that, and as it's happening, you hear, and as you're running to get on basically the space train that will take you to Bovinia, you see Lou, your intern, is behind you, and you see he has a similarly small bag, kind of with a stick over his shoulder, and he goes, Mr. Spindly, you forgot your harmonica. How are we going to play blues tunes on the train if you don't?
Fair enough. You know what? Today you're coming with me, Lou. See.
All right. Yeah. No. Okay. That checks out. You guys get on the space train, and
for the first time, I smile.
Aww.
Protect Lou at all costs. Who? Exactly.
The second rule of Dumpspace is everything has an explanation, except the things that don't. The world of things that don't have an explanation is a small circle to live in, but there are certain corners of space that thrive in that environment. The Alliance of Planar Excursions is an organization of legend, serving as a galactic force of heroes with the goal of maintaining timelines and universes. Their accolades are many, but their methods are a mystery, because it's pretty well known that they are led by a council of oracles that can see infinite timelines. And the calculations on what exactly needs to be accomplished to save the galaxy sometimes don't make sense, but they work, because the galaxy has been saved many times by this secretive organization. Sometimes they make sense, but more often than not, they are a mystery. We cut to walking through one of these space stations for the Alliance of Planar Excursions. They're more so like big mobile ships that travel across the galaxy through time, different time periods, things of that nature. Very flamboyant, boisterous decorations. You see that there is bright reds and golds and heroics. You see there's many scrolls kind of hanging from the ceiling, or just decorations and accolades from past heroes. And there's all sorts of people walking through in these kind of really bright rubber jumpsuits. That is the known uniform for anyone that's a member of the Alliance of Planar Excursions. And we see 3 people kind of walking down this hall in a rush. As you see, this is kind of shift change for a lot of the missions being divvied out, being dispatched here. So 2 of those people, Christian, I'll let you start us off.
Okay. My name is Dormir Khalkus. I'm a Kalishtar artificer. So basically like a dream person, humanoid. Blue tinge to the skin, almost a bit incorporeal. Like maybe in the right lighting you can kind of see through him, like as if made of some kind of magical mist. White hair, kind of bright blue eyes, and I'm just carrying around. I have a holstered a 6-shooter on my hip, but otherwise I'm carrying around this kind of magical, map scroll, and in my other hand this glowing blue. What's it called? The feather that you write stuff with.
A quill.
A quill. Holding like a bright blue, like kind of magical quill, and just looking around and just taking in all of the sights. Very upset about the garb that he has to wear for Ape, but that's
Part of the
okay.
standard uniform. It's a bummer about that quill thing. Tien, you know all the rooster parts, but you couldn't jump in on quill.
What?
Hey, don't talk to Tien when he's disassociated.
Sorry, I was reading my character sheet. I was
preparing for his intro.
Attention to whatever the fuck was going
Fuck,
on.
it's time to start level 3. Tien texts me on the side. What website is D&D Beyond on?
No, see, now you're giving people the impression that I'm stupid. But it's not the case, okay?
So, Dormir, you are walking. You also kind of have a name tag, codename Hammock, as issued out by your call signs within Ape. You're walking, kind of, I guess walking, I don't know about the legs. Jonah, why don't you go ahead and talk about the character that's alongside him?
I am indeed walking. Next to him is a pretty tall, probably like around 7-ish feet, 6 to 7-inch feet, 6 feet.
6 7.
And with that is my time. Hell.
Thank you for joining an ODSII podcast.
7 foot tall. Robot who is basically a bundle of rusty parts, kind of all put together, and laced in between there are like vines, and pieces of them are made out of wood, and just all these different pieces of nature. As he is a druid, and pretty tall, human-like. Definitely just a hodgepodge of different machinery. And if you really look at it, and you kind of know what you're looking for, they're definitely tractor pieces. This is definitely rusty
John
old.
Deere?
Yeah, this is rusty old farm equipment that has been made into a machine. And for a head, he just has. It's like a normal looking head, except you can tell that for eyes, he just put a telescope right in the middle. And he is carrying with him. He gets the same Ape uniform, but his are in style overalls. Keep those country roots.
Latex overalls?
And then he also has like a little, kind of like a little bag, almost like a tote with him, and in it is a little creature. It is blue. It is kind of furry. It looks like a rabbit, except it has antlers, and on half of the front rabbit paws, and in the back they're like deer hooves. There's almost like a rabbit fawn. And my character's name is TeeBeeDee. TeeBeeDee. You can call him T.
That's cool.
And that name was given to him by that rabbit, who is his compatriot.
This rabbit also currently trying to hide a vape.
That is accurate. He's trying to get the smoke to clear away. I help him.
Yeah.
I reach down and clear it with him. No, not yet, buddy. Not yet. We're almost there. Yes, and his name is Frank.
And you are both of you are hurriedly walking down the hallway for your latest assignment. You are walking with a third individual, probably a friend of yours, someone that was recently promoted to your direct superior. Her call sign is Rain. You see that she is a Cyclops, just big, muscular. She's got like a blue rubber suit instead of the red, kind of the standard issue for management here. She's holding like a bunch of paperwork and stuff too, and she's kind of talking in media res here about your assignment. And she goes, "Yeah, I don't know, guys. The assignment from the Oracle says you're going to go to Bovinia and wait. It doesn't." She's kind of flipping through some paperwork. I don't really get it, but you just need to go to the planet and just kind of hang out for a little bit.
I love it. Bovinia.
Right.
What is that?
Dude, is that the like cream planet?
Yeah, maybe more professional names for it, but yeah, it's the one with the highest dairy production. It's got the cows that talk.
Dairy.
Oh,
Cows.
dude,
I love a cow.
Lots of farms. There's,
dude, you're gonna have to keep your little rabbit on track though. Like, can't be just vaping like around the entire place.
Oh, don't worry. He only vapes when he's hungover.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. Hopefully there's not a lot of alcohol on the planet. Look, I know this isn't the most ideal assignment for you two, and I know it sounds a little more boring than the other ones because a lot of these guys are going.
No, we get it. You guys are sending your like best of the best.
Yes, and we're kind of saying, look, I'm going on one of the worst missions that I can assume, and she's like flipping through. She goes, "Yeah, I've got patrol at Chocolate Palooza."
Dude, probably lots of ice cream.
Yeah,
Possibly from.
Really.
What can you do with chocolate without cream? You know.
Yeah, I guess so. That's of course. You're not. Look, we'll see what's going on that planet.
Sounds so boring. I'm so
Is
sorry.
cream like a central tenet of your character?
We're gonna have one of those
come back, or is this like a smoking gun that never?
Chekhov's gun with the cream. My father was a cream.
This cream better fucking pay off, dude. I'm telling you, this cream better pay off. He said cream 3 times. It must pay off.
It's like Beetlejuice. The cow's gonna jump through the window of the studio.
Put cream next to your name.
It's just too good.
It is too good. But back to it. She goes, I'm sorry, it should be pretty standard affair. You know, I did kind of notice it's right around the time that your guys' adventuring licenses are up for renewal, so it might be good to just go through one of those dumb exams while you're there. Go through, take one of those fake things and get your license reissued, and then, you know, maybe that's why you're going to be there.
Oh, can you like elaborate just a little bit on the fake test? I don't think I'm familiar.
No, come on, you've gone through the test before. You don't realize it's all a bunch of baloney? You really thought it was a real test? What'd you score on it?
At least 80.
At least 8. You get like 80 points for writing your name. I don't, man.
I said at least.
Okay. And she goes, all right, yeah, look, just.
Get off my back.
She goes, look, I'm sorry.
Would you like Frank's vape?
The space bunny kind of holds it up to you out of his pocket. Puts it away. And she walks you up to what is just kind of like standard. It's a one-way teleporter for 8. Basically, they put you in this little panel. You shoot off to wherever your mission's going to be, and they come arrange pickup later. And she kind of brings you to this, these 2 purple pads. And she goes, look, I know you guys are going to make the best of it. I understand this is probably not everything you imagined from being some of our best mission goers, but I trust you'll figure out why you're meant to be there, and I'm sure it is integral to the stability of the timeline.
You can count on us.
I trust in the process.
Trust the process. She kind of puts her hands together and kind of nods the both of you, and you guys issue off. Any preparations or anything you're making beforehand?
This is how I travel. I am just me.
Yeah. The third rule of Dumpspace is everybody matters. In a world this vast, it can be difficult to feel that way, but there are some things that make you feel like you matter more than anything. Namely, love. We cut to the desert planet of Salamander. You see it is beautiful during the hotter seasons. You can see just stars in the sky, several moons hanging and illuminating and giving this romantic air to pretty much the entire planet. The rolling dunes of the silver sands serving as a perfect backdrop for one of these romantic evenings. And love is in the air. We cut to the patio of a restaurant named the Ivory Buffalo. It's quaint, dimly lit. It's a pasta restaurant. You see that people are having espressos and ice creams. People on dates are kicking back and giggling and sitting on the same side of the booth holding hands. And there is one table at what they call the Sweethearts table. You see kind of right at the corner of the patio with the most perfect backdrop of the dunes and the moons and the stars. And you see sitting at this table, Neville. Why don't you go ahead and introduce your character?
All right. So you see a probably about 6 foot tall humanoid lizard person. They're a humanoid version of like a frill lizard. Their scales are kind of ranging from like a blackish brown tan that some spots of their body are a little bit more black, others fade all the way to tan with brown in between. Their frills, when they frill out, there's little striations of kind of silver that shine a little bit more than the rest of their body. in a full maroon tux
Beautiful.
with a bolo tie.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fire.
Yeah.
That's like Tim's gonna wear that to the next session.
Yeah, just sitting there, kind of swirling his martini glass, just kind of laid out to the side a little bit, just being a good listener.
Hell yeah. He has a matcha.
That's when you know it's fantasy.
We are in a world of our own creation, fulfilling fantasies we will never be able to
You're
fantasize.
also reading a book with your other hand.
Yeah.
Swirling your martini.
They have Claro playing just in the background.
This is all correct.
Yes. The planet is abuzz, and you notice that at some of the other tables, a lot of people are looking at you and just kind of keeping an eye on your table. There's this empty seat across from the table. The initiative on Salamander, kind of the push for this planet that got its status in Wonderspace originally, is for an algorithm. This algorithm has the codename Love Doctor. A small sampling of DNA and millions of equations and simulations coalesce into the perfect, infallible matchmaking software. Vyco, you were the first subject of this software. They basically ran your DNA and lived experience through this algorithm and matched you with a Gith woman by the name of Mavendra. And you were the first to go through this, and now the planet, for now many years, has also been going through this matchmaking software. Just about anybody you see sitting at these tables has been matched by the Love Doctor software. And so far, it's been a home run. The whole basis of this planet has proven true. This algorithm can find the person you were meant to be with, and it's taken so much stress out of daily life. There are no wars with this planet. Commerce is booming. People are generally happier, and you have been the trial run for this, being the first to go through. And the very interesting thing is the reason why all eyes are on you is because the rumor mill has been abuzz, because you're a noble. You have status on this planet. The reason why you were the first one to go through this algorithm. You're the prince of the planet. Basically, Salamander, you are heir to the throne. And you and Mavendra have been together for a couple years now and just getting ready. And the rumor mill is abuzz that you're about to propose, is what everyone is thinking. And everybody knows this. You'll be the first one to actually solidify these bonds in marriage. And this is going to kind of be the golden apple, the goal here for the Love Doctor algorithm to see if it's up to snuff. So you're sitting here, you are at this table, you see kind of a dwarfen waiter kind of come through with a bottle of champagne. And he goes, "Has she come through yet?"
Not yet. She'll be here in a few minutes.
Right, running late. Okay, no worries. You want me to pour now, or maybe I come after she shows up?
Nah, it'll probably get a little, warm.
You want me to? And you see he kind of holds up the ring. And he says, "You want me to put this in glasses or
In the chocolate lava cake.
chocolate lava? Wow, okay.
In the lava cake.
In the lava cake.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, that's totally fine. All right, we'll do. You want that out first? Do you want to kind of go through?
We're starting with the chocolate lava.
That's okay. Excellent. All right. We'll do that. I will go. We will start making. Okay, we be right back. And you see, he kind of like sprints to the back.
All right, cool. If she comes in, let her know that I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Because I
What?
gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay.
That's all. You got a job. You
Got
got
it. So-
lava cake. If she comes in, you let her know. I'll be right back.
Excellent. Got it. Yeah, I will handle that. Okay, go for
All
it.
right, cool.
So
You actually need to go to the bathroom?
He does.
You had lived experience. Yeah. So this waiter kind of runs to the back, but also is like leaning out the window, looking at the front door to make sure nobody comes in. Yeah. Are you?
Yeah. Run to the bathroom. Washes hands a little bit and looks in the sink. He goes, "You're handsome. You're smart. I'm just gonna say yes. You're handsome. You're smart. Everything will be fine."
Go ahead and roll persuasion for yourself.
Things are starting off swimmingly in this campaign. You said persuasion?
That's what I said.
I don't think it matters what that is.
It's a 9.
9 total. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You know, the hands are clammy. You generally this morning were believing yourself, but now that it's getting a little realer, you still have that sinking feeling in your chest. But odds are it's going to go great.
Yeah, my feels are just kind of hyperventilating with me. I go, "It's gonna be fine. What could go wrong, right? The worst you could say is no, and then she'll say yes, maybe eventually. We just gotta work on some things. It'll be great. It'll be great. You got this."
And as you're doing that, as you're walking through, a guy like comes out of the urinal and he's like, "Oh, hey, you're the one that if she says no to you, our entire planet gets thrown away into Dumpspace because the algorithm
Shut the
doesn't work,
fuck
right?"
up, bro.
Right,
Try not
no.
to think about that part.
Sure, it'll be fine. He kind of pats you on the back and he walks away.
You're handsome. Everything will be right.
You clean up the tears, just kind of in the air dryer, and you get down to your table, and you actually see Mavendra's already sitting there. You see Gith woman, kind of alien figure, and you see she's got long braided black hair. She's in this like sleek black dress sitting there, and she's looking. You can tell she looks a little nervous too. It's assume she probably knows what's going on here. And she stands up, and you see the dwarf waiter is like looking at you from the kitchen, like holding the cake. He's like, "I'm so sorry. Like, she snuck in." Like,
Yeah, I slowly just kind of glide over there.
do you run like those lizards that are like on their feet? Like,
That's what I meant by glide. Yeah, you can't really see my feet, thankfully.
you
because
Jesus lizard.
my upper body stays very stationary when I move. So yeah, I get over to the table. I kind of pull the chair out with my tail to try to be smooth. It doesn't look great.
All over.
Sorry, I tried to tell him to let you know, but hi. How
No
you
worries.
doing?
Powdering
Yeah.
your nose? Yes. of
Yeah,
course.
exactly. Powdering my nose. You look phenomenal.
Thank you. You look great as well. Thank you so much. I've wanted to go here for so long.
Yeah, just opened up.
Yeah, no, it's so nice. And you see at this point the waiter's coming out with the lava cake already. And you see he kind of goes and he goes, "I've got an order of lava cake for the oldest lovebirds on the planet." And you see he sets kind of the cake down in front of the two of you. And he hands you a fork and hands her a fork.
I ordered lava cake for us already.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, I figured we'd start with the lava cake.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense to me. That's totally... Do you want the first bite or...
No, go ahead. Yeah. I already ate. So.
You gotta have McDonald's on the way. Don't worry about it. You want a Burger King on the way out?
I mean, no.
She's like,
How
"Hey."
open are your frills right now? Tell me.
They're just sucking.
You're like shooting the poison out of your eyes that some lizards can do, right?
You actually got nervous.
That's so deep into
That was so deep into roleplay. He's imagining me as a hot alien woman across the table from him. So she goes and she's like, right. And then she takes the fork and then she goes down into the cake and you see it's in slow motion for you. And the fork goes and you notice eyes are on you because most people probably have known about this plan. The waiters don't keep much of a secret. And as everyone's looking at you and she gets the fork down, she goes, "Vyco, I think we should see other people." Ding! And the fork hits the ring.
They put something in the cake. I'm sorry, what did you
Place
say?
has gone to shambles.
She goes, I just don't think this is working out. I know the
Why?
algorithm. I just, you always eat before I get places. You like, even the few times we do eat together, we like do dessert first. And then you have them bring out your entree only, and then after you finish eating, then I can.
I got a weird metabolism. You know us lizards, we gotta keep our body temp.
I
at a
know,
certain
and every
temp.
time I ask you to take me out for a date, you say no. I have to sit on a rock in the sun for 16 hours before we
you
can
can come.
go.
That can be our date.
No, I don't. That's your interest, not mine. And then you see she kind of like.
Your interest. Something he needs to do to stay alive. Your interest.
She drops the fork and she kind of like pushes the chair up and she doesn't get to the ring. She doesn't realize she just kind of drops the fork on the plate, and she goes, "I'm sorry, I don't think this is working." And then you see she just walks out of the restaurant.
I just kind of sit there for a second, just kind of staring at the cake. Should I have gone with breadstick? Champagne?
And then you hear an alarm go off that just rings throughout the whole planet. A blaring. Brr, brr, brr. And as that happens, you wake up in the present day. This was many months ago at this point. You wake up inside of what is a very humble, like, little farmhouse. You're sitting at the kitchen table. You've kind of fallen asleep in a bowl of porridge here. It's like a cottage. There's smells of freshly baked pastries, and there's a nice lavender tea simmering on the stove. And looking around, there's very like live, laugh, love-esque decorations up on the walls. On top of like, you see they're kind of hanging over what look like kind of would have been like hash marks with a knife almost that are like tallying something, but it's behind these decorations. And sitting across from you at this table, Tien, why don't you go ahead and introduce?
Oh, this is my
character?
house.
This is your house, yes.
Well, you see a humble farmer is what you see. Okay, a guy in farmer's rags. Don't worry about the war scars, okay? Don't worry about the fact that I'm 8 feet tall and jacked and have like 27 abs. I'm just a humble farmer. I like my milk. I'm smiling at you as you wake up with a cup of rose-scented tea.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thanks.
And not
I'm
just
strumming lazily at my bagpipes. I forgot
the string bagpipes.
that's actually my instrument. I'm fucking just the most mellow bagpipes
Check the
you've ever
sheets.
heard. What a wonderful way to wake up, huh? I say to him.
Sorry, was I screaming again?
Oh no, it's okay. I don't mind it. At this point, it's become part of the night.
Tien also burying the lead a little bit. You are a plasmoid too, correct?
No, I'm a human.
Oh.
I just picked a plasmoid because I'm supposed to be like a virus infecting a guy.
Oh, that's pretty cool. All right. Yeah. So okay. So you're just a big.
No, by all appearances, I'm just a huge dude, and I'm pink, and I have really light, wispy blonde hair, like the hair on a babe's head. Yeah.
And at this point, Greg, as your name is, Greg People.
Greg People is my name. Yes. Gregory People.
You start hearing chants on the outside. Chants that you're kind of used to at this point. We pan out a little bit. It's a dairy farm on Bovinia, actually, is where you live on this small cottage. And you see that there's a number of different space cows and things just roaming your pastures. But on top of that, there's some of the more humanoid cows, Minotaur and other kind of humanoid cows. And for which probably the fourth time in the last few months, you're woken up by the sound of them striking. You see that there is probably a line of about a dozen or 24 of those cows, humanoid, holding up signs. You see that they're chanting things outside of your house, saying, "No dairy if the wage is unfairy. We make the milk, but he's the coward." And the udders are on our side of the table. And you see that they're just going, "Down with Greg. Down with Greg."
Ladies, first of all, excellent science. Love the science. Really clever use of words, okay? But I already give you guys 99% of my profits. What else could I do? What other demands could you possibly have?
We want 17 weeks PTO.
You already have that.
17
You asked for that
more.
last February.
We mean 17 more.
Okay.
Ask them for 52. And they're like, "Actually, we want 52 weeks PTO."
We go through this every week, ladies. Whatever demands you want, I'll meet them.
And you see the cows just go, "Oh, well, all right." And you see they just go to like...
Don't let me stop you from protesting. Finish your protest. Finish your protest.
Right. And they continue the chant, and then you see they go up to a set of shelves that I imagine you probably built for them to set their picket signs on for the next time they decide to strike. And they kind of shelve those in front of your house as they continue on. And
I turn to Nev and I go, "Happy wife, happy life."
this is,
Wait, they're all your wives?
mind you, this is Tien first dropping knowledge that he's married to one of these cows.
All of them.
Oh,
Who the fuck is Nev?
Oh shit! Sorry.
shit, fuck, pull me up.
What is that? What is your name? Vyco. Vyco. Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
And at this point, you see, you hear just kind of like a raspy voice off to the side of your house, and it's going, "Hey, bub, over here."
Yes.
And you turn, and it's like a pretty like seedy looking Minotaur guy with like similar war scars and piercings. He's missing one of his eyes from this big deep gash. It looks like it's from like a fucking axe. Like, this guy looks hardcore. You recognize this guy. This is a guy from your past. His name is Pierce Morg. And basically, The other name I had on the table for this guy was Death Axe. So I went with Pierce Morgan to be a little more subtle.
Do we split because of our differences in politics?
So he goes and damn, that does sound like Pierce Morgan. So you see, he kind of gets up.
Are you serious right now?
He goes, I've had a difficult time hosting The Voice. I want to kind of move on to other things. But he goes up to you. He goes, listen up, Greg. I know who you are. I know what you were before this fucking virus took over you and made you all happy-go-lucky, all right? I need you to listen. If you keep fucking around and not giving these cows what they want, I'm going to make sure next time you're talking to them outside, you're fucking crawling there. You understand? And you see he's like beating a bat in his hand.
Hey,
Yeah.
don't talk to the best
Are you
bed
having
and
a bad
breakfast
day,
host
buddy?
I've ever had in my life, okay?
It's okay, he's just having a bad day.
He's like, what?
Do I know you, sir?
Yeah, we ran guns up in Andromeda 5. You don't remember this?
This
No,
guy
I think
ran
you
guns.
must have me mistaken for somebody else. I'm just a humble dairy farmer. Greg Peoples. Nice to meet you.
Greg and he kind of shakes your hand. He goes, Greg
That's me.
not like Greg Destroyer of
No, I
Peoples?
don't know what you mean.
What? You have a
Destroyer of dairy competitions, baby.
And he goes, wait, did I also just hear you say that you're just giving in to their demands? They're going to have 52 weeks PTO?
Those ladies work so hard.
That's like the whole... Oh, you just...
Yours are longer here in Bovinia. I don't know if you know this.
And he's like, wow.
It's actually 4,000 weeks.
Actually, so that's really not that good of a PTO thing at all.
Wait, Pierce, you're anti-union?
Whoa, no, hey, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. Like, I'm glad, I support the unions. That's totally fine. I don't need you to... Don't spring that
By the
on.
way, I love baseball. I just take your bat from you.
He's like, this interaction is going way differently than I expected. You don't want to like kick my ass or anything? Like maybe we rumble?
No, why would I have no idea who you are, Pierce, but I'm very glad to have met you.
Oh, well, wow, okay. Are you hiring?
No, we're actually not, because we don't make any money.
You're also not a cow.
Yeah. Oh, he goes, well, all right. You don't make any, how do you keep this place afloat?
Oh, you know, the magic of family. And I throw him his bat back. And I wink at him as he leaves.
and he looks at the bag. He's like, you put a bag of 200 gold on the end of this when you give it back to me. You said you
No, that was there the whole time. And I winked at him.
He goes, yeah, all right. And he just kind of like walks away. And he's like, guys, we have money. And they're like, woo. And you know, you're another guy was like, yeah, he always gives us that. They just kind of like go away. And it's just you two. At
Sorry
the
about all that. You know, I don't like to have my guests see me like that
No,
when I
it's
lose my
fine.
temper.
That was the strangest fight I've ever seen in my life.
You know, it gets ugly here sometimes, you know.
So, the scars you got from being too nice to people?
Oh, it's from a lawnmower.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Mowing the grass for
unfortunate.
those ladies, you know.
Hey, farming accidents are the scariest accidents. out
Exactly.
here.
I always say that.
You see one of the cows says, "Have you heard him strum the bagpipes?"
They don't even have strings on him and he's doing it.
First thing in the morning, too.
The roosters are like, shut the fuck up. This is happening, and then you go, Mr. Peoples, I'm sorry, is this a good time? And you have another visitor. This is someone that is in...
Wow, a lot of friends today.
Yeah, and this is someone that's in kind of like full gold garb. It's basically just like casual gear with like kind of like a golden button up and black dress slacks.
Yeah.
Just like an elf guy.
Mm-hmm.
You see he looks pretty like mousy hair. He kind of looks like a dweeb. And he's holding like a little, like a clipboard. And he goes, Mr. Peoples, my name is Billiam.
I give him like the biggest, warmest handshake.
And he goes, thank you.
Nice to meet you, Billy.
I've heard nothing but good things about you. Hello, Billiam.
Vyco, nice to meet you. Vyco, sorry.
Vyco.
There's a lot that's happening this morning.
There is. No worries.
Are you here to fight us too?
No fights at all. I actually,
Okay.
and he goes, I am actually a representative of Wonder Incorporated. You may know us from around these parts as.
Never heard of you.
Never. We host the
No, I'm
adventure.
just a humble farmer.
Right, okay. This is, I met a guy one time that kept saying the word cream. You remind me a lot of him. You kind of have a thing you repeat.
Yep. Probably not trying to convince anybody.
Make a deception check with advantage because he is caught off guard.
Okay.
This is Tien's first time playing Dungeons and Dragons in 5 years.
That's a 6 plus deception.
Remember advantage, so roll twice and get the highest.
6 again? Hell yeah. And then deception, right?
Yep.
Where's deception at? Whoa. 11? Does that do it?
You can see he goes, I pretty much believe you right now. On a scale of
Good enough.
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 20, I'd say I believe you at like an 11. And you see he goes, and he also looks at you, Vyco, and he goes, where did you say you were from again?
Salamander. I didn't actually. Why are you asking me questions?
You look familiar. I thought.
Oh, he's nobody. He's just a dirty, dirty vagrant I picked up.
He's so hot.
down on his luck. Not a penny on him. Disgusting, filthy.
I asked if I could pay to stay here, and you
But I
just
bathed
gave me
him
your bed.
And I could feed him until he came back to health.
He goes, oh, you said salamander. We have worked together before then. I was actually one of the ones. I was involved on the team that resulted in the dumping of the planet.
Yeah, fair.
I can't remember, how involved were you in that? You were one of the test subjects,
I
right?
was off world when it happened.
Oh, really? It's a shame. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I did.
But
know
if you were there, do you know what happened to all parties involved from Wondering Side?
I do. I know Mavendra was one of our employees.
I heard.
She got away. Last I heard that she's dating some dude that's got like a bunch of muscles and like looks really handsome, is what I heard.
That's great. That's good for
He's a
her.
farmer.
She comes out. Whoa! We resolved Neville's character arc just in 15 minutes.
Playing the bagpipes. We bonded over the bagpipes.
No,
Like
no.
I meant to tell you.
Where was this when I was pouring out my heart last night?
This is non-canon, right?
Non-canon. Yeah, no, she's not actually there. Yeah. She goes, yeah, she definitely got away and is dating someone like a real big up-and-comer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
He sounds cool.
No, he's really cool. He like writes plays and stuff. He's like very artistic. Like it's really. I digress. Mr. People, the reason I'm approaching you is we are hosting an
But
adventure.
like, what planet is she on?
I don't know. I'll ask.
Okay, cool.
Mr. People, we're hosting an adventuring licensing exam on this planet coming up here in the next few days, and I couldn't help but overhear that you said that you're down on cash. You need more space gold.
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay.
You know, things are a little tight right now, but we get by.
Well, I would, and he's just kind of like looking at the sorry state of maintenance affairs, like around, like your full eastern wall is just not there. Like it's just open concept house, and he goes, "Mr. People, you own one of the cheese caverns nearby, right?"
Yeah.
Well, we actually.
Oh, I'd like to, I take care of it.
Ah, okay, right. Do you believe cheese caverns have kind of autonomy? Is what you're getting?
No,
at?
I mean, it's all of ours, It's everybody's.
Oh,
It's everybody's cheese.
like mine too?
Yeah, it could be.
Oh, okay. Well, here's my proposition. Because you are the caretaker of this cheese cavern, we've identified it as one of the maybe most solid places to host one of these adventuring licensing exams. To give you an example, we basically stage an adventure for some of our either needing renewed licenses or new adventurers looking to get licensed in Wonderspace. Obviously, Wonder Incorporated, any adventurer needs to have an officially issued license from the company, or else it is, an intergalactic federal crime to be adventuring without one of these licenses. So I actually wanted to approach you and offer you a sum of 50,000 gold to make use of your cavern.
Whoa, gee, mister, I ain't no adventurer.
That's actually my cheese cave too.
Oh, excellent. Well, you guys can split the profits. It seems like profit sharing is abound here. I was talking to a few of the
You can
cows.
have anything I have.
I was talking to
You can have anything of mine forever.
Sir, you can stop caressing his face now. It's fine.
I'll stop when he tells me to stop.
Your frills.
I'll allow it.
And he goes, but just for usage of the cavern for a few days so we can set up the exam. And then I also wanted to give maybe the two of you, if you both own the cavern in some ways, free entry into one of these exams just because it's pretty straightforward. Not many people fail. And I just feel like having an adventuring license nowadays is better to have than not to have. Rather be caught with it than caught without it, you know?
It's like a real ID.
Yes, exactly. You can't fly or we're going to charge you $75 at Delta to get a Space Delta. Sorry.
Hey, everybody at home, go get
You
your
can
real
still fly,
ID.
yeah. Yeah, so, yeah. This is brought to you by whatever corporation owns airports in America. None of you? Really? No one knows?
Knows what?
The corporation that owns airports in
I
America?
don't think it's one that owns all of them.
Oh.
Wait, is it one that owns all of them?
No,
There's
weren't-
no way. There's one that owns all of them.
Sorry, I'm thinking of Dumpspace, where Wonder Incorporated owns everything. So anyways, so that is my proposition for you. You basically can
Well,
get...
what do you think, Vyco? You really have nothing keeping you here, so...
What is like the social romantic outlook for someone who has a license? Like, would you say better trajectory?
I would say a lot of adventurers I know generally have... It's this weird thing where they definitely have families they want to go back to, so they definitely, like, get married and, like, start families, but then also kind of, like, being... Loved ones are usually cool with adventurers. If you're a parent of an adventurer, you're pretty much guaranteed to be killed. Like, it's just kind of a thing. A lot of adventurers come to us with the license and they go, I want to adventure to avenge my fallen parent. It's a very popular kind of item in these people's backstories. But in terms of romance, I think you have a pretty good chance of winning over any romantic partner you're pursuing.
And romance that leads to relationships that could possibly save a planet?
Yeah, I would say that there's probably a greater chance of adventuring doing that than just staying on Bovinia.
I don't think I can stay here anymore, man.
Oh, well, I just have all of these, cow wives keeping me here, and my farm, and my friends here.
You see-
Minus one.
You see 7 anthropomorphic female minotaur cows come up to you and they go, all 7 of us are handing you divorce papers right now.
Oh, but I gotta keep up the farm, and there's grass I gotta mow.
And then
Will
you
I at least get to meet new friends?
Absolutely.
Okay,
there's
I'll do
there's
it.
a whole panel of adventurers that's going to be joining.
I think we should do it together.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
Are you
okay.
guys talking about the same thing?
What?
Hopefully.
what are you talking about?
I look, he didn't hear you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just said. I was
Yes,
like,
and
And
What'd
then
you
you,
say?
I said we should do this together.
Oh, I would love nothing more, Vyco. My best friend ever now.
He's back.
Yeah.
how long have you two known each other? You seem to
Oh, a
really have a
couple
strong
days.
bond.
Yeah,
days.
like maybe 2 days.
2 days. Wow. So like you said maybe. So maybe like
2
It's kind
lifetimes
of funny
more
that
like.
you don't remember if it's 2 days or not.
you mean like maybe like 41 hours total? Like
yeah, it's yeah. I feel
And you
like
should have seen the shape of him when I first found him.
stronger
Disgusting.
bonds. Stronger bonds could not be forged in deeper flames. I really appreciate the friendship you two have. So I will basically
I
take
start crying, just like weeping silently,
oh no, not this again.
but like happy, like smiling.
Yeah. And you
I'm
kind of like
staring at him the whole time, crying.
Billiam goes, that's quite enough. You can kind of stop emoting, please. Now that you've agreed to this, and basically the verbal agreement, and he pulls out like a little recorder. He goes, we have a recorder that kind of makes this a legally binding agreement. You have signed over full ownership of the Cheese Cavern for the next 7 days and all product there within to Wonder Incorporated, and any violation of this contract will result in surmise execution. I just want to make sure that we are all on the same page.
What?
Sound good to me?
All right, well, thank you. It's all I
I don't know what any of this. I don't know what you're talking about.
And he goes, well, the adventuring licensing exam will take place in about a week here. You can go ahead and meet us just outside of the cavern, and I look forward to hopefully issuing you both an adventuring license.
Well, thank you, Mr. Billy.
Thank you.
What happens if
Please.
we don't pass?
You can just try again next year.
Oh, that's not bad. Sure, all right. Yeah.
We do get to keep the cavern forever if that's the case.
Not my
But
cavern.
not your cavern,
Yeah,
so it's
not
okay.
my cavern.
And he goes, please, Mr. Billy was my father. You can call me sir. He kind of walks away. Yeah. So
I think that guy was into you.
They all are.
we cut to 7 days later, about a week, to the day of the Wonder Incorporated adventuring licensing exam. All of you have gathered, and a little info on Bovinia that we have kind of alluded to in the intros. Bovinia is your classic starting adventure planet. Rolling green plains, small villages and cottages, people needing small errands ran. It's the perfect place for an up-and-coming adventurer to get their career started. The whole pitch for Bovinia was that it was going to be the leading dairy producer in all of Wonderspace by giving the cows more autonomy over their milk production. They basically awakened a bunch of these cows so that they could also negotiate their manufacturing work experiences, basically offer insight into how they best can be taken care of, and business is booming. Many people here open up dairy farms just because it is so easy to start the dairy farm and there's no shortage of people working. So it's very like Legend of Zelda-esque kind of on to the start, you know. There's probably a bunch of chickens you can kind of hold and float down cliffs with, lots of vases to break, stuff like that. So we are going to cut to basically right in front of the cheese cavern. So Greg, you and the group are here. You've all kind of come together for the first time, being the participants in the exam. Spindly, you're also here with Lou, and Lou is basically, he does not get access to an adventuring license because he is only an intern with Wonder Incorporated, but he does get to kind of dote on you as a familiar would. So basically,
Here's my familiar, Lou.
Yeah, Lou, the intern, is his homunculus familiar. So it's kind of,
Wait, really?
yes,
That's
that is the.
I have him showing me the prospectus for like tourists that come to the planet. It's got like these cows that have milk mustaches, drinking milk.
Yeah.
Looking at the map that they have, and then looking at the cheese cavern. I'm like, I think we're here.
Yeah, they made it. And you guys have come together, and you see that, like I said, clear blue skies, rolling plains, and you're sitting here. Standing at the front, there's who you two recognize as Billiam, basically that older, mousy-haired elf guy, and he's standing next to a very frail-looking, in a set of gold armor that's probably a little too heavy for him, human man, basically you, Brin Tally, Captain Tally, here to supervise the exam. So all of you get together. You are now with Billiam here, and Billiam goes, gentlemen, welcome to the Wonder Incorporated Adventuring Licensing Exam. You will see here our supplies and setup. Will finish preparing the exam here very soon. I will introduce you now to Captain Brin Tally of the Duo Galactic Obsolescence Retrieval Knights. Brin Tally has been an excellent member of DORC, replacing, painting, and erecting many fences on the outside of the plant. Some say he was able to push enough pencils to supply the entire office in a mere 17 hours one day, which was quite impressive. And I will give, and you see Lou's eyes are super wide. He says, I will give Captain Tally the floor.
All right, cadets, listen up. This is the first day of the rest of your lives. Are you ready to get your adventuring licenses?
Yeah.
That's right, Greg. Thank you very much. I'm super stoked to have you guys here. I've ran thousands of these. Questions will be done after the monologue. Once I have
Tight ship.
tight ship here, this is Captain Brin Tally, everybody.
Just saluting the whole time.
I salute back.
I see you saluting, so I'm like,
I salute back.
You see Billiam like waves a hand, and there's a minor illusion of an eagle. It's like, in the back.
I take notes, and I'm just like, salute plus eagle. First respect.
You draw the eagle though.
Yeah, I tried to draw the eagle. Yeah.
Listen here, today is going to be very simple. These aren't hard at all. I've ran thousands of them, if not 1,001 of them. You've heard me. Well, really, my colleague Billiam, I pushed pencils and papers in 17 hours. So we're going to get you through this squeaky clean. First step, everybody, please fill out these forms. They are the safety guidelines and outline what we will be doing today.
You guys read the safety outline, and it says, your exam is administered using trademarked adventuring simulation technology, where adventuring sim robots can be customized to the adventuring simulation of your liking. All personalities are real, but all damage and threat are fabricated and fake. Any data corruption that results in these things not being true are not the responsibility of Wonder Incorporated, and instead the responsibility of the individual administering the exam. Listening to this note counts as your signing of a waiver absolving Wonder Incorporated of any financial responsibility for failure of the equipment.
Perfect. Now that you've all signed it, we are 80% complete. That's basically
Just
it.
burns in our head.
Yeah, it goes away. At this point, the kind of the tranquility of this planet, right, starts. There's whirring as you see it's a jet black ship. It's very sleek, and you see it's a spelljammer for those of the 5th edition nature. Basically comes down from the sky and lands very loudly next to you guys, and you see it's a galleon, right? Like it's a pretty big ship, jet black. You see on the side, it's got a bunch of phrases painted that say something, let's get those boys home. Or you see that there's little blue lantern lights that as it's flying are lit that are kind of revolving around the ship and then goes away as it lands. And then the gangplank kind of goes down and you see that there's a number of Wonder Incorporated employees coming out in basically their pressed uniforms that are also wheeling with them what look like androids. They're basically just faceless, humanoid looking, but mannequins almost, that they go into the cheese cavern with as they start loading up. And then you see they go towards, basically they kind of bring one and drop it off to you. And you see it's just this like red-haired guy, he looks kind of alien. He's only got one eye, and you see he's got kind of like almost like Shrek-style ears, looking out, but looks human for the most part. And he goes, hi, I'm Carl. I'm going to be helping with the exam today. Basically, this is the part where you guys choose what personality is uploaded into your villain. Basically, what will happen to these adventuring sim robots, all of the damage is fake. All of their threat is fake. It is just a simulation, but you get to choose the personality of these individuals just to have some autonomy over the effort. So I can give you the list of available villains, and you can kind of come to a conclusion as a team on who you would like to do adventuring battle with. And he's reading the list, and he goes, the pirate Dreadskull. And he goes to the next one, and he says, Apex, destroyer of rib cages and eater of cartilage. And he goes to the next one. You see he kind of like furrows his brow a little bit. He goes, Carl from finance.
Are you Carl from finance?
Yeah, and he kind of looks at Billiam. He's like, sorry, Carl, we have reasons to... It will all make sense if they decide to select you. He goes, well, all right.
Carl doesn't seem that scary. We should choose Carl.
That feels like a trap.
A what?
A trap.
Is that bad?
Why are you so close to me? I don't know you.
Roll history to see if you know the definition of trap.
I like Garbage Man. He seems
8.
friendly.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you have no idea what that word means. It does sound dangerous, though.
Bunny doesn't know it.
Yeah.
It's not good.
I look at the bunny. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Bunny's-
not good.
Yeah. So you guys get to kind of decide.
Those
who
are
your
the three
villains-
options we have?
Those are the 3 options,
Alright.
and I'll repeat them. The pirate Dreadskull, Apex, destroyer of rib cages and eater of cartilage, and Carl from finance.
I raise my head.
Well, they all sound so good.
Yeah.
Carl, are you a trap?
I don't think so.
Carl says he's not a trap.
Carl is most definitely a honey trap. That's besides the point. Captain Brin?
Captain Brin Tally,
Yeah,
yes.
uh-huh.
Not pledgling anymore.
Got it.
Yep, for
So
sure.
you will
Yeah, in
be-
fact, I heard you had such a huge package that you you got promoted twice in one.
That's correct. The rumors are true.
Well, it sure makes us feel safe that you're participating in this challenge with us.
I was
sir.
saying,
Yeah,
are
you
you
know,
participating in this
team.
challenge with us?
I look at Billiam.
And he goes, yeah, you lead them through it.
I lead you guys through it. I
Okay.
ran 1,001 of these.
So you have
Go ahead and make
Nice,
deception for
I
me. Yeah.
Another deception. Ooh, stats.
Ooh, I like that.
Do a flip. 17.
17. So if you wanna roll an insight.
18.
Dormir.
Holy moly.
Dormir, you notice that you don't know if it's necessarily a lie or stretching the truth, but Brin is 1, definitely sweating a lot, and 2, way enunciating his voice compared to what his normal voice is. He's definitely putting on a show.
Dude, that guy is like perspiring over there.
Hey, speak loud enough for all of us to hear.
We are a team. We should be able to communicate in the battlefield.
You're right. So you have your adventuring license.
Yes, correct.
Cool. Can I see it?
No.
Okay.
Why do you want to see it?
Because I want to know what we're getting ourselves into. Like, what's
Did you read the form?
Yeah, well,
Well, we listened to the form.
listened to the form.
So you read the form.
That's gone.
The
Yeah,
form yelled
forever.
at you like one of those fucking Harry Potter
Yeah.
yelling letters.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
He's got himself a howler.
So you know exactly what you're getting yourself into.
I want to know what the payoff is, though. Like,
The payoff is you can start to run crucial missions for Wonder Inc., Dork, and many other organizations without being, cited or maybe even thrown into jail for illegally adventuring
God,
Or
sure.
executed.
or executed. Yeah, see, this guy knows what Wonder Inc. is all about.
Why are you guys so into executions? Jesus. All right. Well, yeah. Okay. Cool.
Wonder Inc. keeps the peace. Look at
My
how
my
happy
vote's
everyone
the
is.
cartilage guy.
Look at how much this guy's smiling.
I'm just smiling because it smells like Asiago in here.
that was my next question, Greg. What kind of cheese and where does the cheese come from?
Whatever kind of cheese your heart desires.
Oh, it's
Vyco.
so it's kind of like a whatever individual person is in there. They experience the cheese differently.
No, we just have a lot of different kinds
Oh,
of
okay,
cheese.
got it.
Freak.
Cool.
Billiam was like, magic cheese. Good idea for a planet.
Cream cheese?
I like whipped
No.
cheese.
Cadets, we are getting off topic here. We need to choose our villain to slay.
Cartilage guy.
I vote for Carl. Give Carl a thumbs up.
I tend to concur with the lizard.
I'm just happy to be here.
I'm going Carl.
All right. What are the votes so far?
We
Do we
got
have
two Carl, two
two
cartilage,
Apex, the destroyer of rib cages, and eater of
one
cartilage?
present.
One present. All right. You got to choose.
Carl.
Carl. And
Yeah, let's
Carl's
see-
like,
let's see what this-
Carl's like, come on.
Sorry, Carl.
He's like, okay.
Do I know Carl?
Roll history.
How old is Carl?
Carl's like mid 40s, like
History is a 17.
17. Okay, you know that recently Carl's had a lot of people like he's like a pretty lazy employee. Like they probably bring him on a trip like this to supervise him the whole time. And very recently he like had a big faux pas by microwaving a bunch of fish in the just in the office. But you can't really think of him, eating rib cages or like anything similar of that nature to these other villains. So Carl kind of goes off, and you see Billiam goes and kind of waves his hand and programs this android. And he goes, zzz, and he goes, "Hi, my name is Carl from finance. I am a villain, and I have," and then you see it's like a very like stock recording. He goes, "Put fish in the microwave, and have encouraged fellow employees to not work through breaks or lunch." And he goes, "I am a villain. I am going to have everybody on this planet microwave fish and terrorize their offices. Ha ha, ha ha ha, ha ha." And you see he just like
The worst of the worst.
kind of like walks into the cavern, like goes a little deeper.
I've never worked in an office.
Greg is
that
like
bad.
dying laughing at this guy. This is the funniest thing
No,
he's ever seen.
I'm from a desert planet. We don't have fish.
What is a fish?
What is fish? I've never heard of space fish. Sorry,
Oh, I've heard of space fish. Yeah.
that makes more sense. And basically, Billiam goes, "Here's kind of the order of affairs here. You are going to be tested in several categories. You will be assessed in. Those are going to be unknown area navigation, problem solving, negotiation tactics, combat capabilities, and general talents. Your exam is supervised by Captain Brin Tally, as stated before, of the Dual Galactic Obsolescence Retrieval Knights, who will be scoring you in each of these areas. Should you receive a passing score in all of these areas, which are either pass or fail, you will be issued a Wonder Incorporated adventuring license.
Passing score is at least 80, guys.
At least 80, yes. It's always been pass or fail, and you just kind of realize that there was never a number associated. You're like, 80? And Billiam continues, and he says, "The general order of affairs is our Wonder Incorporated employees will be held hostage by these adventuring simulation androids. You will go in, test yourself in each of these categories, and then you will chase Carl from finance out of the cave, who will then jump into the Wonder Incorporated issued spelljamming ship." And he gestures to that jet black ship that says, "Bring our boys home." And he says, "Our usual training ship was not available today, so we have issued out the company hearse for the Dual Galactic Obsolescence Retrieval Knights. bit of a smell, but other than that, it's been used for many noble efforts recovering the fallen soldiers that have lost their lives within Dumpspace. I would be honored to be riding on this ship. Carl from Finance, or the simulated Carl from Finance, will jump onto this ship. You will go after him, do battle in space, see how well you can kind of maintain composure being elevated into space. Should you be successful, you will come back down to the surface of this planet where you will be issued out your adventuring license. Good for 1 calendar year. And a normal calendar year, not a 4,000 week one, Greg.
I'm dying laughing.
And Billiam says, any questions?
I run over and I grab real Carl and I pick him up. Do I pass?
No, please let me go. No, that doesn't work. Oh God.
I hold
Please?
him really close.
Dude, nice try.
Give me my license.
You're a robot, but you somehow have bad breath. Please put me down. Did you put something in there specifically
Whoa,
for bad
Carl.
breath?
Hey, you're a villain, okay?
What? Maybe I am.
Yeah, don't talk to my
You see, he
friend
gets
like
really sad. He's like,
I lean close to you.
Oh,
Do I put him down?
he does smell. Billiam goes, nice try, T. Nice try. Not going to work. And he says, well, I will be out here. You guys can continue on into the cavern should you be ready, and I wish you the best of luck.
Cadets, let's form up. Let's start marching ahead.
What does that mean?
That means we get into a formation, at which point we can assess all of the... I suppose I did finish my monologue, so...
It's so long.
Yes, please, go
What
ahead.
formation?
Formation. The best for... Nope, that is in fact not the best for surveying. I think the best formation for surveying as we start to enter the cave is a circle.
M. Oh.
And at this point, you see Billiam kind of goes, Brin, remember, you're assessing them. not yourself."
Yes, of course. And on that note, here, you guys go ahead. And I go to Billiam and Billiam, the hearse is kind of... What am I supposed to do? We normally use the other thing.
Yeah, no, it flies just the same. Should be okay.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Like it's 1,001 times been the other ship.
Well, you need to be prepared for unexpected circumstances.
Okay, all right. Team, let's roll out.
He's like sweating even more.
Captain, why are you so
He's like
drenched?
It's hot on Bovinia, okay?
It's the most cool, lax climate.
It's
there
actually
It's
is.
kind of
pretty
like
temperate.
idyllic over here. It's kind of like meadowy and perfectly 70 degrees all the time.
Let's not all pick on the old guy. Why don't we?
Yeah, I never
all
said
right?
you're old.
Yeah.
You're perfect.
I knew I would like you, Greg.
Yeah.
You're just once again caressing him.
Okay, so circle
Circle
formation,
formation.
and head into the cave.
Correct. But
Why,
that's
why are we in a circle?
I can't tell you. I'm supposed to survey you.
And we're all supposed to hold hands too, right? You said to hold hands?
I didn't say that.
You said to hold hands. I think you said to hold hands.
I
reach
think
my hand
I
out to
also
you.
heard holding hands. I'll be on the south edge of the circle.
What does that mean?
Spindly, you see Lou just immediately grabs your hand. He goes, they said to hold hand, right?
Just don't have me lose you.
Okay, and you see he puts on one of those monkey backpacks with a long tail.
Yeah.
Tucks it into your pocket. Standing there. This guy's like 45.
It's like a belt loop.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Greg, isn't this your cave? I feel like you should maybe lead. No.
Well, it's all of our caves, but I do know my way around here. Would you like me to
That
lead?
works for
Where are
me.
we trying to go in the cave? In my cave that I know so well.
So in the cave, you see they have like put up infrastructure for this exam. So they've
Yeah.
changed it around a little bit. There's like a big, pretty well put together like wooden gate, and like there's like a door in front of it that like goes deeper into the cavern. You see each of them like very suspiciously have had like the Wonder Incorporated Lumber Company sticker
Yeah.
left on and like facing forward from where the gate is like put up. But it's basically just like a wooden gate with the door that goes into the cavern.
Okay, well, this used to be the Parmesan Parliament, but they seem to have moved a couple things around. I like what they did with the place, but you know, I think we're supposed to go right through here.
Where's the burrata section? Can we go there?
We don't do that over here.
What kind of cave are you running?
Is there cream cheese also here?
Yes. Anything besides burrata.
I look so relieved.
I can't believe you even brought that up.
All right. What about mozzarella?
The dry or wet?
Welcome to Odyssey, listing the most amount of cheeses we can think of podcast.
Anything but burrata is okay.
I feel like mozzarella is just or burrata is just a subset of mozzarella or whatever. I don't know cheese.
And Billiam goes, remember to speak up as if you have a microphone just a few feet in front of you.
I do have microphones. I don't pick up everything.
Yeah, what are you guys doing? There's literally, like I said, it's the wooden gate. It's just like, seems pretty straightforward going into the cavern.
Before we go in, I want to use my ability to make a couple maps for everyone.
Excellent. Who would you be dishing those out to?
I'm going to give them to everyone except Brin. Because I can't physically make enough for everybody.
And I mean, if the narc doesn't get one.
Well, I give mine to him.
Greg, it's okay.
Suppose you
I
guys
know
can share.
everything that's going to happen in this simulation.
No, I don't want you to be left out, Brin.
And I mage hand, and I put like their initials in like that SpongeBob the font, like very well written, but just like two letters for each person.
You guys get started about 7 hours after you start making them. What does the map do again? Remind us.
So everybody who's holding one gets an extra D4 to initiative.
Oh, let's
You
go.
know the location as long as we're all on the same plane of existence. We all know other map holders' locations.
Whoa.
And
cool.
if you you can target the holder of the map if they were say like you're doing cure wounds and you're 60 feet away, you can do cure wounds on a map holder. So you can target spells on map holders. You don't have to see them.
That's cool.
They
That's
just
really
need
cool.
to be in the same plane.
That's slick. I didn't even know that was a
Wait,
feature.
so there's no distance, like requirement?
Same plane. Otherwise, that's. I couldn't find a distance.
Go for
I was looking earlier, and that's.
Yeah, they don't have
I could
distance.
find.
That's cool. Can
Yeah,
you
default
give the
is.
map to someone not willing? Probably not, right? I would just drop the map. I was gonna force you guys maps for my enemies and then have them just fucking finger of death you across the space.
Gotcha.
I think I don't know. Actually, that's a good question.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out in post.
Is it dark in the cave?
Oh yeah. Probably maybe the blue cheese section will say has some glowing fungus and stuff. But you guys are still at this like kind of like wooden gate.
Yeah, I think I'd like to just methodically check around see what I can assay from the outside of the cave.
Awesome. Go ahead and make an investigation check for me, please.
And I'm looking for anything that seems unusual now that like my guard's up with the hearse.
Mhm.
Yeah. So.
I walk up to you and I go, "This is a great move," and I cast guidance.
Ooh.
So you will get
Get to add a D4 to the check.
D4 to the check.
What the ones?
I'm gonna start playing like a soothing song on the bagpipes. I'm gonna give him bardic inspiration. Okay.
That's 18 there.
It's an 18 on the dice. Plus... You said investigation?
Yes.
24.
24.
Okay, well that does it without my bardic inspiration.
Well, he can hold on to the inspiration die.
Oh,
too.
okay,
So you've got, just mark that down. You've got an inspiration die.
Inspo.
Yeah, the 24, I applaud you. That's good. You kind of go through and you're checking methodically, and you do see, as you get to like the actual door portion, looking through some of the slits in the wood, you see that there is like a mechanism. It looks like this door is trapped. And basically going through, there is a way you can disarm it. It looks like you actually have a pretty good chance. But as you're like looking, it is rigged to something looks like it would swing from the ceiling once this door was
I
open.
love it. Yeah, I'm like kind of like sniffing the like sawdust and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, something's not adding
Dude,
up
what are
here.
you sniffing over there?
It's the cheese, duh.
I sneeze.
We make some of the
Silly
finest.
question for me.
I think we're in for a trap here, guys.
Well, yeah.
So
we picked
this is
Greg.
a door that we're the ex-Parmesan Parliament.
Yes,
that we're walking in?
there's just a wooden gate, and there's a door that he has deduced is now trapped. So you can attempt to disarm the trap. It'd be a thieves' tools check.
I can also mage hand open the door as I handle.
Skippy.
No.
And he kind of walks up, he goes, got it, and he's still like kind of on his monkey backpack, and he goes, opens the door, and then he goes, and then you see there is just like, it looks like it's probably a boulder, but they put like fuzz on the outside to be like, it's safe. Yeah, and Skippy takes 8 points of bludgeoning damage and is knocked unconscious. He just flies back out of the cage. And then you see just kind of swinging.
I take out
no.
take out my handkerchief and like kind of cover my my face so that like the sawdust doesn't get or whatever the cheese dust doesn't get. Good work. I go in.
Excellent. Yeah. So I mean, the trap has been solved.
Do you
So
want me to go
Are we gonna
grab
help
the
this
dude?
guy? Or?
Did they kill him?
Yeah, can I go check for a pulse?
he's well awake. He's just he's like.
Do you want me to grab the little dude? Or
He needs some milk.
oh well, you're in the right place.
Welcome to Odyssey, a 2017 Vine reference podcast. All right, yeah. So you guys, basically the next portion of the cave here, it goes down. You know, it kind of like descends deeper into the ground. It's basically like a sloped downward path that goes into another chamber. So could you guys tell me the order you guys are walking in right now? It is not like single file, so you can
It's a
double
circle.
or triple up.
I would probably be towards the back.
Okay.
I can be towards the front
Okay.
because I'm not really scared. I've been here a million times.
Yeah, 100%.
I'd be close to Greg.
Awesome.
I'll take middle with.
I'll be towards the back of Lou and Brin.
Easy. So you guys kind of descend down this slope, and the cavern itself is not very. The ceilings are not very tall. Basically, it is easily enough that a big guy like you could feasibly reach up and grab cheese from the ceiling should it be growing. Basically going through, and there's like a very faint glow from some of the cheeses, and you see it's like a very like minerally smelling cave. And you eventually get to another kind of wider chamber, and it looks like you recognize this part of the chamber was like really filled with cheese, but they have harvested a bunch of it and gotten it out. So it is like now wider.
Wait, are we talking about like cheese growing on the ceilings like stalactites?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Is
Yes.
the mountain made of cheese?
The mountain might or might not be made of cheese.
Oh, so the cheese is like a natural.
Oh yeah.
It's like an ore.
Yes.
Okay.
You can mine a cheese in this game.
Okay,
Wait,
cool.
So the cheese or the areas of this cave that aren't cheese are what?
Like limestone.
Okay.
And just cavern. So you're going down and you're in this larger chamber that has like most of the cheese cleared out, and it is connected by a wooden bridge that you've put up that goes into like another chamber on the far end, maybe about like a 20-foot long wooden bridge, and sitting at the edge of that wooden bridge facing the other direction, it's like two wooden chairs set up with two of those adventuring sim androids. And they're not facing you guys, they're facing the other way. And then beneath that bridge, there's like running water. And you see it's kind of going to, if you're facing the bridge this way, it's going to your left, like just deeper into the cave. And you know that this other section kind of continues on into a spiral that goes later in the cave. But in front of you, there is that pair of guys sitting on a chair.
Are they armed?
Make perception check for me. Tien fully putting his dice away every time between the check.
4 plus. Where's perception at?
Swipe to this side.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Shit, fuck, shit.
Perception, dude. This fucking.
Welcome
Plus
to Odyssey,
3,
a
so
taking
is
a
that
long time to do math
7.
podcast. 7.
Yeah.
These guys definitely have arms because they are both hanging off to the side of the
Okay.
chair.
Hey guys, they have arms.
Thanks. Yeah.
So there is a river in front of us, or like a
Beneath,
flowing-
yeah, beneath the bridge. Yeah, there's like
But
it's
the bridge
like
is going off to the left,
the river's going off to the left. The bridge is kind of like straight in front of you,
crossing the river.
crossing the river. Yes.
And where are the
Okay,
two people?
and
They're sitting.
They're
on
at the
chairs.
other end of the bridge, but they're not facing you. They're facing the other way.
So our objective is to, at the other end of the bridge on the other side of the cavern, there's a spiral
That goes
staircase
deeper
or
into the
something
cave,
going down.
Yeah.
We're not trying to go down the river.
You might be. You don't know. You have a few things you're doing in this cavern.
Okay.
Is there any indication of what we're supposed to be doing with the mannequin people?
You treat them as enemies. You basically
okay.
like take them out of commission. Yeah. So you treat them as
And that was already explained to us.
yes.
Okay.
They're like enemy assailants.
Hey, Brin, are we going the right way?
I will say Greg has excellent visual acuity, seeing that they have arms.
I think we should go have a conversation with them.
Sure.
Yeah, why not? I guess.
Yeah, I go up and I'm like, hey fellas.
I'm going to be like 30 feet away.
Yeah. I will be.
So are you just like crossing the bridge?
Yeah.
Okay. They're on
Okay.
the other side of the bridge.
They're on the other side of the bridge.
Oh shit.
So you start crossing the bridge, and there's like a very like strong mineral smell now. You know, it's like it's like like the water in like a mozzarella bucket, or like when you get something from the store. That's kind of what this river is made out of, going deeper to your left, deeper into the cave. And you cross, you go, hey fellas, and as you're like halfway across the bridge, there's no response.
Well, that's rude. I repeat, hey, fellas.
Response.
We got a bunch of rude guys over here. I think you guys are safe to come over.
Oh, he's getting heated, dude.
I join you at the front. I'm just like, maybe they need a fellow metal man, huh? And
I think you might be right,
"Fellas,
Trash Man.
Hello.
How close are you getting?
How far were you?
I was like 5 feet.
Yeah, like halfway across the bridge.
Yeah.
I'll go like 5 more feet as I'm then you down the bridge.
As you're going like kind of farther across the bridge, go ahead and make perception for me.
Can I look at the bridge as well?
Yeah, go ahead and make. You can do investigation for that one.
I want to see the integrity of this bridge.
15.
I got a 21.
21. The bridge actually looks pretty well kept. Honestly, like it looks like it was recently repaired. So maybe it was.
Wondering,
Probably wondering if you can fix it. You rolled 15.
15.
So the 15 with your perception, you're looking, and these guys like the arms are like a little more like lazily at their side. It doesn't look like they're like being held up by it, like limp almost. And you don't notice these robots moving very much.
Oh my god, I think they're dead. and I start running across now to get over there.
And you look, and lo and behold, as you're looking and kind of investigate these robots, you see like the back of their head, there's like claw marks on it, and a bunch of wires have been ripped out of the back of the head. So these robots are definitely out of commission.
I scream.
I run over. I'm like, what's wrong?
They're dead.
And I take
It's coming for me next.
You hate to see it. Vandalism.
Somebody is clearly killing
Did you do
androids.
this? You didn't do this?
I would never.
Somebody else did this.
Brin, is this supposed to happen?
Huh.
Yeah, we'll have caught up when the screening starts, probably.
Yeah, well, so I walk up. First test of the adventuring exam is you have to be ready for things that are unexpected.
I thought we
Clearly,
passed the first test.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lou.
Yeah, we were ready.
You did say that.
second test that we must pass is expect the unexpected. I think we were all maybe expecting to fight these androids, correct?
Yeah.
Maybe
Probably
now,
like you did in your other
maybe,
1,000.
maybe, yeah, exactly. But maybe in my 1,001 other times, they were already dead. But I really can't tell you that's cheating.
Can you show us the rubric or something?
The rubric was outlined in the pamphlet that you were given at the beginning.
I'm pretty sure they just
AKA
talked to
no
us.
voice
Could I
crack.
try to give one of the androids CPR?
Oh yeah, actually.
No need to roll.
Wait, I have mending.
I have mending. I guess mending.
Yeah, you can mend it for sure. And you can have.
I'll mend the other one.
So you guys hit mending, and it kind of repairs the back panel of the head. But as you're looking too, they definitely have there is an intelligence processor that lets them kind of take on these personas that are chosen. That has been ripped out. So you mend the broken parts, but the missing parts, these things don't come back up.
You can't mend a broken heart.
Can't mend. Smooth baseline.
I'm shaking him awake. I'm
Yeah.
slapping it.
Come back! Greg, you fully put a robot down on the floor and just, I don't know, start licking the faceless, featureless face.
Come on! Live! Come alive! Come on, baby! I'm slapping. Oh, wait. Weren't you just doing that?
I'm also I'm right next to you.
We're doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's to the same robot, dude. Smacking him around.
He's doing it to the feet.
Yeah, it does not work. This robot does not come back to life. Brin, you know very well that this is not no one else should be in this cave. This is very out of the ordinary and not the way that these things are usually decommissioned.
So were you passing?
It seems like somehow we have passed this portion of the exam.
Sweet.
I don't know how any of you
Hooray!
would have ran ahead and defeated them so quickly, but good job. Let's press forward.
And then, so you guys basically now have, in this chamber, there's a spiral that goes down to the remainder of the cave, and it goes down to that same level that the river is running. So
Can I throw something in the river to see if it how deep it is?
Yeah, absolutely. So you just, boop, and you see it go, and go ahead and make perception with advantage for me.
Perception, yeah. No, I will take that.
Man, this guy who's really mean to his intern is really carrying us.
That's how you stay on top, baby. With a 24, it's not very deep. It's maybe only like 3 or 4 feet, but the water is definitely rushing a little. The current is stronger than you would maybe initially expect. So if you were to wade through this water, it would take some wherewithal. Like you'd have to really stir to yourself.
And this is still the Milky Way water, right?
How far across is it?
Skippy.
Just throw him in there unconscious, surf him. It's probably like
I've been surfing before.
like a 15-foot spiral, like all the way down.
Oh, sorry. How wide across is the river?
Not very wide, maybe like 4 feet.
4 feet river?
So we can jump across it.
That's a little too narrow for a river.
Sorry, 12 feet.
It's 4 feet wide, but 20 feet deep.
I already said earlier, this is ODSII, a bad math podcast. 4 feet wide, 150 feet deep.
Crosswalk all over again.
Yeah, so
Okay.
As you can see, there are multiple pathways in front of us. It is crucial that we choose the correct one.
Do I know which one would be the safest? I would, right?
you would have to go down to the spiral to continue through the cave anyway. But then there is kind of like there's the way up the river and there's the way down the river. So
Which one would I know to be the safer option?
with your experience in the cave, safer, just like neither would necessarily be like safe, but going up the river would definitely be more difficult just
Okay.
because you were pushing against the current.
Well, everything he just said, I'm going to say. Pretend
So
like I said
knowledgeable,
it.
Greg.
I just said that. Top level roleplay here.
What he said.
Yeah. And so I suggest we go upstream, right?
Should we maintain these robots for other traps that might come up?
What do you mean?
Just throwing them in the way.
Yeah.
That is an excellent use of resources. I think we should do that. That is fundamental to the Wonder Inc. Philosophy.
Who's
Great
gonna
work.
carry the
Wow.
robots?
Excellent. So I'll just like
I'll
kind
carry
of,
on.
I'll carry
Yeah,
one.
like a cart or
I'm
something?
cradling the head.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'm carrying mine very
Dude, I
gingerly.
don't know if that's healthy for you to like carry that around.
Awesome.
Like,
You guys
really into it.
Who else is gonna be there for them?
You guys gingerly pick up these robots. And as you start going down the spiral, you hear, with the cadence of someone reading off of a script, coming from upstream, you hear someone going, "Help, help. Carl from finance are torturing me in a method that would be appropriate for your chosen villain in this exercise. Help, help. They are encouraging me to take longer breaks and or not work through my lunch. Help."
Guys, I think someone's in danger.
Feels like we should go that way.
A fireman carried the robot.
So you guys are
Run
going
that way.
upstream.
Going upstream.
So
Okay.
we have to walk through the stream.
You have to walk through the stream. Yeah, you see like this kind of section. There is like what looks like a lit portion of cave at the top of this river. And it's not like a far wade. It will require an athletics check to get up.
Oh,
Can we look at the map that?
It just shows our location in relation to each other.
It's like a Marauders map style.
It's a
of-
yeah. It's the COD radar.
With my movement being able to like spend half to teleport, can I give myself advantage? Or...
Yes, I would let that be an advantage roll as a cartographer artificer.
All right.
You guys will all need to make this check, by the way. So this is like a group
Alright.
check. The way we're gonna run group checks on the pod as well, too. Just I've run it like this in my games before. There is going to be a. There basically half of you need to succeed for it to be a group success. Anyone that rolls a natural 20 counts as an extra success.
I rolled a 6.
What is
What are
the
we
check?
rolling?
Athletics check.
Athletics.
Oh.
That's a nat 20.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
I
Nice.
also got a nat 20.
oh my goodness.
We passed then, right?
Oh yeah, we passed. There's
Yeah,
there's
2 natural 20s. That's already a win.
Three.
So
Three natural.
that's good. Easy.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Geez, table
so
A
good,
just
dude.
taking
It's
it, huh?
all downhill from
I got
here.
13, so not all at table A.
Easy enough. So you guys are able to kind of anchor with each other and push your way through the Way River. Definitely an impressive feat of teamwork for folks that just met each other before getting up to the top of this cave.
Dudes, keep the maps above the way. If they get wet, they're useless.
You guys smell so salty and have like kind of like a layer of gross cheese water on your bodies as well as you emerge. And you get up to what is like a smaller cavern. And this smaller cavern is like kind of rounded. And you see there's a number of those adventuring sim androids in there. And they are there's 3 of them in here. And you see that one of them is kind of like at the edge of the cavern holding one of the Wonder Inc. employees, right? And they're basically, the Wonder Inc. employee is tied up and is, in their hostage situation. And the employee goes, "Oh yes, my saviors, help. They are encouraging me to not perform or participate in the employee engagement survey. I need assistance. They are corrupting me." And the robots, they also start kind of like moving around. And you, as an artificer, Christian, probably pick up on this very quickly here. Go ahead and make investigation or perception with advantage, either or.
Oh, baby. 22.
22. Knowing the method that these other adventurer sims were taken out, you do notice that it looks like there is some... These robots are wigging out a little bit. And you see that they also do have something ripped out of the back of their head. Not as much, but it looks like a little more gingerly done. And they're kind of just like bugging out a little bit as they're going intrude, and not really finishing the sentence. They're bugging out a little bit. The one with the Wonder Inc. employee hostage is holding like a club and is basically right, and it goes, "Intruders are here. We are now initiating combat and torture of the hostage." And you see it move its hand.
Carl!
And you've seen this before. It actually is Carl. Carl's like, "Don't worry, guys. Like, it's all good. Oh no." You know this portion. This is the portion where the Sims basically simulate attacking the hostage, and they basically get like laser tagged. You watch this robot just fuck up Carl. Like, just takes his club and like, you get like teeth fly out, his jaw cracks, and he goes, "Oh fuck!" And he kind of like rolls around. And you see the robot's like, and you see intruders, and you see it going towards Carl. It looks like it's like trying to finish the job. And then these other robots like basically take their weapons out too, that are definitely like not blunted, and it looks like these things are inflicting very real damage.
Guys, we must act swiftly to save the hostage. And I mean very, very swiftly. I'm running.
I'm just like really impressed by Carl's performance.
Yeah.
I'm just like, wow, he is committed.
Wow,
So good.
As you're doing that, what are your guys' passive perceptions? Anyone got one above 15?
New perception.
I have 17.
I do 16.
Excellent. So T and Spindly, you guys catch pretty quickly. There's like a scurrying up on the ceiling. And as you're looking, you see clinging to the ceiling, there's 3 of these creatures. They are red-skinned. They have scales. They look like 2-foot tall, like lizard people. And you see that they are hanging from the ceiling that are holding... What? Good for an audio format. Vyco
I
saying...
didn't say anything.
Yeah, Vyco thinks I'm speaking about lizard people too poorly. Different lizards, okay? And they are holding what look like kind of mechanical pieces like in their hands as they're looking around, like giggling at you guys. And there's another one holding on the ceiling that is holding what looks like a jar of just angry bees. And they are up top as these robots begin to descend on both you guys and Carl.
Robots. They're red-scaled robots?
No, those are not robots. Those are lizard
okay.
people, and there's 3 other robots.
I hold up
Not
the
to be
dead
confused
android and I'm like, "Brethren, look what they've done." I'm hoping for a response.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You hold this up, and as this happens, one of those lizard people throws a jar of bees at you. And that's where we will end session 1. That's episode 1, so thank you guys very much for joining, and we will catch you next time.